Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Where I Went Wrong. And in this edition of Where I Went Wrong, I'll be doing Where I Went Wrong, UFC Vegas 61, or you could say UFC Fight Night, Dern versus Yan, or was it Yan versus Dern? Either way, don't matter. They fought each other. It is what it is. But as far as how I went on this card, went 9-2, 9 of 11, pretty stellar card. And even the L's I took on this card, I can't be too mad at them. Like I said, it's stuff I could be mad about. But as far as prediction point, solid card. Prediction, solid. Like, what this stuff to be mad about? But as far as just focusing on predictions and focusing on that and focusing on this, ain't really much to be, like, pretty flawless. Could have been more flawless, but I got to pat myself back on even in the L. So let me just go through the two L's I had. First one was Randy Costa versus Guido Canetti. And with this one, it was another case of me just saying, like, this guy's younger, this guy's older. This guy has been put away a good couple of times. Like, the current streak on Canetti ain't on the worst streak right now. I mean, obviously like on 2-fight streak, winning streak right now, but no, his recent career, like a split decision loss to Manny Martinez, relatively competitive fight versus pretty decent young guy. Nothing special about him, super special, but a decent enough young guy. He went to a split decision that could have easily went his way if the judges were feeling him that way on that card. And then stopping Chris Martino out in like the first round. And now he got another first round submission. Well, first round stoppage, a TKO, now a submission, and like back-to-back fights. But over guys much younger than him, and everybody in the sport right now at that weight class is much younger than him for the most part. Ain't nobody really around his age, maybe like one or two guys. But yeah, he's probably one of the oldest guys in the division without a doubt. But nonetheless, yeah, it was just like, again, going to matter of fact, same mistake with Martino. That's what I thought. I mean, matter of fact, Randy Costa does have the ability to be a decent fighter. He just don't put it all together. What I think about Randy Costa, I feel like he fights like he watches people's prediction video. He watches the cappers and stuff like against Adrian Yanez. Everybody was picking against him. He's like, well, I'm gonna prove them wrong. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna beat this guy. This guy ain't nobody. I'm gonna train hard. I'm gonna beat him. Like the cappers saying this, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna prove them wrong. Then at the fight, the cappers kind of were like one side this, one side this. They were like, he could beat Tony Kelly. I don't know, it was like kind of 50-50 out there. So he was like, hey, I'm not that motivated. I think I could beat this guy too. Some people don't think this, but he went out there and just kind of fought unmotivated. Not to say Tony Kelly isn't good or anything. Probably really, in reality, Tony Kelly still should beat him, and he did beat him. But yeah, obviously he didn't fight to the intensity for Adrian Yanez though in that fight. And then this fight, he was drinking his own Kool-Aid. He was drinking the Kool-Aid. He like, everybody say I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him. Out there laughing with Paulo Costa and stuff. I mean, obviously that probably was like 5 seconds, but still talking about he gonna drink. I feel like the way he fought and how he lost, I feel like he probably was drinking the Kool-Aid, sipping some champagne, celebrating before. I mean, he was in shape, probably like I said, eating burgers and Whoppers and stuff like that. But probably like I said, drinking the Kool-Aid before the fight's over. And now he about to get cut. He about to get kicked out of UFC by a dude who's like 40 years old, and not even necessarily a stellar fighter. I guess he was like 40-year-old legend, but a 40-year-old basement dweller, or basement level fighter. Ain't like he a guy really on the rise right now. You got a guy that's like pretty much at the bottom of the weight class, and you about to get removed from the UFC by him. That's what I'm trying to say. No knock on his skill level. Obviously, UFC is a very high level. I'm just saying the reality is Guido Canetti is not no stellar UFC fighter. He's the bottom of the barrel in the UFC's bantamweight division, in any division that he can make. He's the bottom of the barrel, and that guy just stopped you in the first round relatively quickly, and now you about to be out of UFC. And this guy, that you like what, 30 or late 20s or early 30s, you should be dominating guy like. So that's embarrassing on him. Like, embarrassing. I mean, that's not even that embarrassing to pick him. Like, he should win. He should have won. But I didn't think with this one, not just focusing on so much, oh, he's young, he's over, this, that. Canetti had been fighting with more intelligence lately. He's been using his brain more. He ain't just going out there and biting down the mouthpiece and swinging as of late. Like, he's been really doing that more. Whereas, like, we seen I guess the read for that was, like I said, yes, he's older, yes, this and that, but he beat another young guy in his last fight, or younger guy in his last fight. And he is showing growth even at this late stage. He definitely ain't gonna go on to rise up the road, really rise up the rankings, but these people keep sleeping on him, just thinking they're gonna beat him because they're younger and they coming in not fully sharp, or not coming in their very, very best. Like, any bit unsharp and you going with these guys in UFC, you could lose. You can't just underestimate anyone. So come off any little bit and he's gonna take advantage. But yeah, Canetti between the two had the better momentum actually, and also he's been fighting with a better sense of IQ. Like, he has been fighting with a higher level thinking process than what Costa has been. Costa just been like, matter of fact, I feel like Costa's whole career in the UFC just been like, pull the trigger, boom, 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 just pull the trigger. It ain't been a whole lot of thought process behind what he been doing. So like, if he can get you out there, he gets you out there, but he can't. He falls apart. And I guess you can find ways to pick him apart. You can find a way to split it. Ain't no real adjusting. It is like he gonna come out there. He's a pistol. He's a pistol. That's what he is. And Kennedy, like I said, despite his age, he's making improvements. He's fighting smarter and making a growth. And he got over on. I mean, he beat Costa. Clearance, no luck. You can run that fight probably 9 times out of 10 for like Kennedy wins. So, but at the time, like I said, again, factoring age and not like really the pattern, but ain't gonna pick I don't feel too mad about because like in this as far as this particular matchup, 9 times out of 10 now in hindsight, retrospect, whatever case may be, Kennedy gonna win. But yeah, Kennedy gonna win unless maybe like they try to I don't know, run it back like 2 years down the line, and Kennedy like 60 years old in a hospital bed, and yeah, then that's different. I'm talking about like the exact same scenario, both meeting for the first time. And yeah, the same thought process. 9 times out of 10, Kennedy beats him. Now, I really believe that. But yeah, with other matchups, I think more so often than not, 8 out of 10 times, the young guy gonna win. Even like gonna win against a guy that's like 40 years old in that lower weight class, like 8 times out of 10. But yeah, Kennedy been fighting better, and that's that one. I talked too long about this one pick, but yeah. Then the next pick I got wrong was Jocko versus Brendan Allen. So Christoph Jocko versus Brendan Allen. This one, like I said, I'm not gonna be too mad about. This is probably the one I'm least mad about, to be honest. I only got 2 L's on this card, but this is probably the one I'm least mad about between the two. Is that, yeah, Brendan Allen. I know he had talent, but I stuck to my thing, and like I feel like if I try to, just adjusting one pick, you might feel like, oh, it's just one pick adjustment. But sometimes the thought process goes over all the picks, or at least multiple picks, and so I could have made the right adjustment with this pick, and it would have maybe interfered with another pick. Because I could say, oh, lean to the historics, or lean against the historics, or lean to the potential, or lean this and that. But I would rather be like 9 or 2 consistently, or all the time, than be 10-0. Well, I've never been 10-0, but I've never been perfect. I've been like just one shy, but I've never been perfect. I'm a very consistent person, but I've never been perfect. I'm always consistent, but never perfect. So that's my Achilles heels right now, I guess. Or that's the thing I'm still striving to be absolutely perfect on a card, but I'm always I'll be perfect on a Contender Series card, but that's only 5 fights. That's like less than half of a fight card, but I want to be perfect on like a 12, 13, 14, 15 fight card. That's what I want to be perfect on. But yeah, that's a sidetrack. But nonetheless, with this one, like I said, you could adjust your process, but that can also interfere with other processes. What I'm trying to go with this one. And this one, I just stuck to historics, and like I said, in the wrong, but it wasn't out of my and also, it's not like I made a pick a super lock or anything. I made like an average or low confident pick. I'm pretty sure it was definitely not high. It was average at best, probably really a low confident pick. But yeah, I'm not gonna rewind the video back or go to the video right now to just see, oh, what did I do? I know it was low or average. It was not no high confident or lock. But I said I just went with historics and say that, oh, Brendan Allen is a very solid talent, but it's not like I can go based off what you're going to achieve all the time. Like until you really show me it consistently, then like, oh, now I can lean to that. But just trying to purely chase potential all the time is going to have you just burning money or just taking L's after L's after L's. When they decide to show it, they're like, you showed me that. Let me see. Depending on how the matchup is. Oh, now I like your potential. I like your matchup. Yeah, just keep doing this. Now I'm behind you. But like I said, keep dropping loss. Got stopped by Sean Strickland. Got stopped by Chris Curtis and whatnot. Not to say those bad guys at all, but I feel like potential-wise, he should be beating those guys. No knock on Chris Curtis. No knock on Sean Strickland. I feel like those guys he should have beaten. But it is what like he's still growing. I think he's younger. I think he's like just getting in his 30s. Those guys like mid-30s. So I mean, he probably gonna get a chance to beat them, get those wins back. But he will get a chance to continue to improve and maybe just out-achieve those guys. But like I said, it's not a race against them. It's a race against yourself. Like, but nonetheless, I'm saying he still has time to achieve his potential and grow. And hey, the sky's the limit as far as how much he wants to work upon it and how much he can achieve. So Bernal's a very talented dude, but I can lean to potential because it has like twice. I think did I pick him against Sean Strickland? I think I did pick him against Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland stopped. Pick him against Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis stopped him. So like it's times I did lean to that potential and I lost. So I was going to necessarily get back on it, but I guess we could draw a connection with those guys. Is Jocko can be aggressive, but he's not necessarily a very aggressive fighter. Whereas Sean Strickland, I mean, Sean Strickland not really aggressive fighter, and also Sean Strickland not really a stopper. So it's kind of weird that Sean Strickland's got like one stoppage in his whole middleweight career, and it's over Brendan Allen. So he's not really a stopper, but he stops you. But anyway, but Sean Strickland is very active. He does a lot of punches, a lot of arm punches out there. Very active on the feet. And Chris, and so not really a heavy-handed throwing guy, but he is active, and you definitely could attribute that to aggression. So activity, output, and try to draw a connection between him and Chris Curtis. And Chris Curtis was out there, probably kind of throwing defense out the way in a sense, and creating 50-50 exchanges out there, and committing with more power, and just really kind of just put the pace, the volume, and the power on Ronaldo. So again, aggression, activity, and Jocko. You can say, oh, Jocko has pretty decent takedown offense, but Brendan Allen, like, even if we try to go that way, Brendan Allen just saw, this is one of the cases where his talent came out. Like, yes, you're this and yes, you're that, but I can take advantage of that. Like, I don't care that you got good takedown offense. I don't care that you got decent grappling. I don't care if you got submitted last in like 2008. I don't care that. That's the last time you got really exploited in the grappling. I don't care. And he went out there, showed his talent, and he did it. So, like, yes, his stories are there, but sometimes, like, every now and then the talent will show. But I don't feel too bad about, like, because it's not like I went super confident, like, oh, this guy ain't this or that. I knew what he had in him, but again, until he showed me, I ain't gonna really like be so behind it. But it definitely was an angle to lean to Brendan Allen. Actually, in actuality, I was gonna lean to him early, but like, let me just step back on historics. And sometimes I think more often than not, lean into those historics. So like, I like this pick, I want to lean this way, but I've been doing better just leaning to historics. So one L that kind of went against historics ain't too bad. Like I say, that ain't too bad. You're gonna have your L's regardless, but so you only getting like 1 or 2 L's based off like historics not being perfect and always predicting the outcome of a fight. Then yeah, but unless I guess the biggest one I could draw is like people that are like very aggressive with decent wrestling defense, like basically keep Brendan away from his bread and butter, and they're aggressive on the feet, can cause Brendan Allen problems. Like, what's the other guy? Anthony Hernandez stopped him. Sean Strickland stopped him, and Chris Curtis stopped him. Aggressive guys on the feet, and are just aggressive in general. So those guys or people that beat him. So maybe it's still the case. Like I said, Jocko's not necessarily that consistently aggressive, and in that fight he wasn't aggressive, and really didn't last too long. So you can't really say how he would have approached it fully if the fight would have fleshed out and then would have played out more, or if maybe he would have cracked him with something, and then maybe he would have became more aggressive. But yeah. So going forward, like I said, maybe like we still got to see. I still favor him a lot of matchups, and it's a lot of matchups I'm still gonna be kind of on the fence because I don't know if aggressive fighters are necessarily his weakness, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of. I mean, there's some pretty good aggressive fighters still left in the division, like, and also going up in the division, he's gonna probably run it if they still around, or how to fight the cards fall. He could definitely end up fighting Chris Curtis again or Sean Strickland and see if he's truly made those jumps and improvements. And also Chris Curtis is putting on weight, so I don't know how that affects him. It's going to make him slower, make him less, or it's going to make him have more power, make him more dangerous. We don't know. So, but interesting matchup to see in the future. I'm definitely a fight fan, so and I feel like Brendan Allen got a lot of talent, and yeah, keep growing, and he could be the factor in the middleweight division I thought he could be, or maybe he could be a test for what's his name, Bo Nickel. And definitely Bo Nickel probably going to rise up the rankings pretty quickly, and I feel like he's going to run right smack into Brendan Allen. We see how that play out. So we'll see. Only make some improvements, and we get some exciting fights out of there. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump to the main event. Yeah, as far as the main event, I'm glad Yan won, but I'm not overall impressed with either woman, and kind of played out how I thought it would play out for the most part. Matter of fact, I think Dern did better than I thought she would. As far as if Yan was to win, and she did win, I didn't think Dern would have 2 good rounds. I thought she might have like 1 good round. I didn't think she would get 2 good rounds like she did. So props to Dern for doing that. I think her offensive takedowns have improved, but she's still very much the same fighter. Striking is still very sloppy, still very aggressive on the feet. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know what I was gonna say. I feel like Dern potentially has some decent stylistic matches against Dama Nunes and Carla Esparza if she could get there. But really thinking about it, I feel like Rose Namajunas' takedown defense has improved a lot, and Dern's takedown offense is so sloppy. And also, not like Namajunas is such a slouch on the ground. She's pretty solid on the ground as well. And with how sloppy Dern is on the feet, I feel like Rose Namajunas is gonna put a toe right on her eye, right on her temple, and knock her out or something. Like coming in sloppy, swing her in the open, her big teeth out there in the air, getting kicked right in the dome, and put asleep or get rocked and choked out or something. So maybe against Carlos. Matter of fact, I feel like Carlos Barlow's probably could stuff her takedowns, put her on her back, probably even stop her or just ground out. But like, I still think it's not an easy, like, given where they are, it should be an easy thing. Like, Carlos Esparza got her, but stylistically wise, it's a matchup that is very much open. So, but can she get there? We don't know. Like, your takedown offense, not your takedown offense, improving as slow as it is, and the division moving as fast as it is. It's quickly for you to get buried. It's quick for you to get buried. I say quickly. It's quick for you to get buried. But nonetheless, I'm not overall slightly impressed with the improvements I've seen in Dern. Slightly impressed. But as far as Yao Zanan, cool, you got the win. I thought you were gonna win, you won. But the fact you got taken down by Dern that many times, what's gonna happen when you fight Carlos Esparza again? You're gonna get put in the same exact situation. I feel like she just a lesser Weili Zhang. That's all she is. She's just a bootleg Weili Zhang. That's all she is. Literally a bootleg Weili Zhang. So she stuck around division. She got a big win, but in all actuality, she showed no real improvements. Dern showed a little bit of improvements. Zhao Nan, I say Zhao Nan Yan, I'm gonna say Yan showed no improvements. Yan showed no improvements. Dern showed a little bit. Yan showed nothing. She got the win, but it should have been much cleaner than that. And she should look better on. Matter of fact, she should have stuffed all. Like, she really want to show some growth. She should have stuffed all of Dern's takedowns and should have put her away, flat out there. Like, Dern's takedown offense is terrible, and her striking is terrible. You should have made her pay for every single slow, ugly strike she did. Let her swing, miss, put a big punch right in her jaw, break her jaw, put her on the ground, knock her out cold. Retire her for, fighting that sloppy. Fighting that sloppy and not getting any better. Make her pay for it. We don't want to see nobody get hurt, but this is the hurt business and you want to make a statement. That was not a statement. That was like, hey, I got by. I ain't really make no improvements, but I got by. I got a win, big win. But all I was going to say is that you're going to be right in the same exact spot when you get into another big spot. Because these other big women, these other upper echelon women going pretty much make easy work of you or beat you pretty handily. So, yeah, that's my take on this card. And that's the video. Again, 9-2, 9-11, solid card. Let's just keep this momentum going and really, really kill this next card in all facets of prediction, betting, everything. Kill this card. And yeah, I'm going to get more into some of that stuff later on. But as far as this, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.